With Dejounte Murray now getting shipped over to the Atlanta Hawks, I honestly got to tell you, the Atlanta Hawks are going to be a top team in the Eastern Conference, and they are NBA Finals contenders for this upcoming season. Now, before we get into today's video, if you guys could drop me a like. It takes 1 second and it helps me in the channel out tremendously. And if you guys are new here, consider hitting that subscribe bell to stay tuned for more Jacksonville Jaguars and, of course, NBA content that I do here on YouTube. And make sure y'all go follow me on my socials. The link tree will be in the description down below for both my Twitter and Instagram. Now let's get into today's video. So we get one of the biggest trades of the NBA offseason so far. The Spurs are going to be sending guard Dejounte Murray over to the Atlanta Hawks in exchange for what looks like 3 first-round picks, Danilo Gallinari, and I believe a draft pick swap as well that's going to be included in this deal. And I think that this is a win-win for both teams. When you look at the San Antonio Spurs side of things, it looks like Greg Popovich is going to be out the door, and God bless him, because he's been one of the greatest coaches in the history of this association, and he's probably been the greatest coach I've ever watched in my lifetime of watching basketball. But this is a young and up-and-coming team, and they're clearly in a rebuild as well. They're long gone from the days of Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Tim Duncan as well too. You look at guys like Looney Walker, Keldon Johnson, Forbes, Josh Richardson as well too. They've got some nice solid foundational pieces on the San Antonio Spurs, and now they add to that by continuing to grab draft assets as well. And then you look over the Atlanta Hawks side of thing, a team that was just in the Eastern Conference Finals just 2 seasons ago, is looking to revamp and rebuild because they dealt with an immense amount of injuries this past season. They were in the play-in tournament and they squeaked their way to an 8 seed before ultimately losing to the Miami Heat in a gentleman's sweep in the first round. But now this team and Trae Young finally has another dynamic playmaker in the backcourt, and I'm honestly going to say it right now, the Atlanta Hawks have a top 3 backcourt in the NBA right now. I'm just going to leave it at that. I won't even get into too many details. Dejounte Murray and Trae Young, that is a top 3 backcourt in the NBA. But when you look at a guy like Dejounte Murray, who broke out onto the scene and finally had his breakout season this year with the Spurs, he averaged 21, 9, and 8 with just about 2 steals a game. He was the NBA steals leader this season, and I think that's going to really complement a lot of the Atlanta Hawks' deficiencies, especially when you look at the fact that Trae Young is not a great defensive player. He's a defensive liability. He did lead the league in turnovers this past season, I believe, in total turnovers, or maybe it was turnovers per game. He was either number 1 or 2, but even though Trae Young's a terrific offensive player when it comes to his 3-point game, spacing the floor, getting to the basket, finishing at the rim, and playmaking for others, because he's one of the best in the association at that, he does turn the ball over quite often, and I think Dejounte Murray is going to help to limit and take some of that pressure off of a guy like Trae Young. And when you look at this roster, I mean, they're clearly going to be one of the best teams in the East, and they're going to be competing in the Eastern Conference at the very top, because this team was just in the Eastern Conference Finals just 2 seasons ago, and they took Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals to 6 games. Now they add another guy like Dejounte Murray. You've still got John Collins. You've still got Clint Capella. You did get rid of Gallinari, but you still got Bogey. They've got some nice solid pieces on this Atlanta Hawks team, and I'm super excited to see what they do moving forward. Dejounte Murray, I think, is going to fit in seamlessly, because Dejounte Murray, I think, will fit in seamlessly. He's not a guy that demands the ball or desperately needs the ball in order to flourish and be good. He's going to be great on the perimeter. He's going to help this team out in fast break situations, and he's just another dynamic guard to add to this group. The Hawks fans and NBA fans, I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. What do you guys make of this Spurs trade sending Dejounte Murray over to the Atlanta Hawks? Who do you think won the trade, and how do you think that this trade is going to look in a couple of seasons from now? Will the Hawks be competing? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And like I said, if you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure you guys drop me a thumbs up. It takes 1 second and it helps me in the channel out tremendously. And if you guys are new here, consider hitting that subscribe bell to stay tuned for more Jacksonville Jaguars and, of course, NBA content that I do here on YouTube. But Brett James, aka BJ, I'm out, y'all. Peace.